Here we are on the second phase of our build, the front bench. You can see we marked out on the floors here where we want it to set. This will give us a freestanding furniture look that the porta pot can slide in and out of. Ripped down some 2x4s to 1.5 by 1.5. Made a little prototype so we could take it apart, recut, re-drill, whatever. As you can see here on the top, third attempt, we finally got that the way we wanted, but there was numerous cuts that we had to make a second time. We looked at a picture of the framework of a four-wheel camper, and it was showing aluminum tubing running right up along this, went all the way up. It also showed a piece of tubing running down the middle under the window all the way to the floor, and then about halfway over all the way to the floor. So with that in mind, I took the smallest drill bit I have, a 1/16, drilled into the wall at those spots, and it came out with aluminum on it. So we hit it right. So that's where we'll be putting the screws in on the back of the bench. This is our front bench that we made based on our prototype. To make our panels, we used a vinyl flooring material. It's just the kind that snaps together. Then to keep that together, those two pieces together, we used a flooring adhesive to bond it to a piece of flooring underlayment. So we glued up some panels. You can see that's what it looks like when it's glued up. We cut those to size. And this is a ripped down plywood that we've stapled into place. It is set back enough that when the panels go in, it leaves that 1/4 inch setback that we were looking for. We've already put the 2 end panels in. In the first one we put in, we used a nail gun. It was tearing up the vinyl surface on this flooring, so we started using a silicone. Just put the silicone, a bead of silicone on this plywood, and slip that into place like that. What? Think it's gonna work? Yep. The captain's worked hard helping us out with this little project, but he's supposed to be cleaning up, and I caught him sleeping on the job. Actually, I think he's looking for a spot to stow away with us. He takes it hard every time we leave, and he sees us packing up and he starts moping around a bit. But I think that's the spot he likes. The storage bench is all put together now. We got it anchored to the floor, and we anchored it to the wall in the back. We used a piano hinge for our lid, and this will be our bench seat as well. We might need to put some type of a support here to keep that held back. Sometimes it stays, sometimes it doesn't. But this will be our storage area for our clothes. This is kind of the system we're kind of using now. We got a box that goes in the bottom, and then one that sets across on each top, on the top there. And that will hold enough folding clothes for the two of us for 2 weeks. We have an area that behind the seat in the truck that we hang clothes from, but folding clothes, that's plenty of room. And I don't change my clothes every day when I'm camping, so that extends that as well. But so that's the storage area for our clothes. And then over here, well, we're going to have to move you out of there. Can you come out of there? He's been helping us pretty good on this one. But this is where the porta pot goes. And it slides in there. I don't think I showed you. We got a divider. There's a divider here between the clothes and the porta pot. But it'll slide in there. And on this front, did we take your spot? We got your spot, didn't we? These are 3M command strips on here, and they're on the back of this. This is kind of a removable panel. So, and we have used this traveling, so it will hold on there plenty good. But this just pushes in, pushes it those 4 command strips, and it gives it a solid, like a solid furniture look. This was the extra cushions that came with the camper that extend this bed. They go up here and extend the bed into a queen. But they set down here. And that's what makes our bench. So we made our bench, this top is 41 inches wide. The cushion itself is 39 inches. So you can see we got a little bit of overhang here. We're fine with that. The reason we did it wider was to maximize the most storage we could get. And how we gauged that was how our turnbuckle doors would open. That doesn't open all the way, but I can easily reach in there to work that turnbuckle. And I didn't notice it until we went to do this, but this turnbuckle door actually sets back a little further than the one on the passenger side. Doesn't make a difference, it'll open a little further, but and so we're 41 inches wide. It's 19 3/4 from the wall to the front of this, and that allows room for this cushion to set behind with this one in front of it. And we tried it both ways, and I think you really want the cushion behind it to allow to have some comfortable seating there. If you put it like this, even with this was shorter, that's pretty short, and it kind of pushes you out of the way and you can't get comfortable. And then our height with the cushion is at 17 inches. So that's right at kind of a standard chair height. The 17 is kind of the low end of that, but it's there. And again, the height fits in with dropping these side doors down. You slide the cushion over, and that'll just drop down. So you still have access to that. So we haven't blocked anything off, and we've added some good seating and good storage. This area here is really too tall to set on and be comfortable. There's no place to lean back. So I think the bench will give us a good place to come in out of the bad weather, set down, and really relax. I know in the video I mentioned we several times, and that's just saying that this is a group effort with my wife, Debbie. While we're camping, we'll kind of just look around and decide what we want to build, how we're going to build it. Just for an example of that, the bench itself was her design. She did all the finish work on it. And I'd also like to mention that Dustin, my son, he's doing all the editing for these videos, and I really appreciate that. I'd also like to give a little shout out to the boys up at CS Humphrey for helping me out with the bench. I know that's what made it turn out as well as it did, and I really appreciate that. You know who you are. Next on our build list would be a toiletry cabinet here. Just a little small one here. Come up to the bottom, top of the window under here for toiletry items. And then over on this side is the bigger storage. It'll come up to the bottom of this where the bed slides out, because we still want to keep that option of being able to slide the bed out. So we'll come here and all the way back to the refrigerator, and I haven't decided yet, but we'll have to stop short of there so we can get to our buckles. get in and out of there, leave room for ventilation. But this area will house our stove, cooking utensils, pots, pans, etc., and food pantry. And on the top, we'll have some type of a countertop on top, so the stove can go up there, and just a little room to spread out with that. So it might take us a while. We're still in the planning stages of that to figure out exactly what we want, but that's next on our agenda.